They weren't just overlooked, they were laughed at, doubted, written off before they ever touched an NBA floor. Because in a league where 6'6" is average, they were barely scraping 5'7". But somehow, they didn't just survive, they broke the system. Here's the truth they don't want you to remember. Let's go. Number 4. Greg Grant. Strolling through the streets of Trenton in the mid-'80s, nobody would have thought that a fish-hauling, ice-piling young kid would take the NBA by storm. Greg was on the verge of quitting when one day, someone saw him play in a local pickup game, encouraging him to try out at Trenton State College. At only 5'7", he topped all of Division III in scoring and was one of the greatest small college players of his time. In 3 years, he amassed over 6,928 points, averaging more than 30 per game during his final season, and hit 50 in a game a couple of times, making him a national phenomenon, so much so that during the 1989 NBA draft, Greg was drafted 52nd overall by the Phoenix Suns. Having played for 6 teams in 6 years, he was always considered an underdog, but he played with everything he had every night. Every minute he won was because of hustle plays, split-second decisions, and workhorse mentality. When he retired from the league, he had played almost 300 games and accumulated over 700 assists, but Greg's tale did not end. He was back on the road, this time to the CBA, where in 1995 he was the league leader in assists. Then, overseas in Mexico, Italy, and Puerto Rico, still pursuing the game he loved. He never did it for the limelight, only the hustle. Back home, he founded a basketball academy in Trenton, started coaching young players, and in 2009 published a memoir, 94 Feet and Rising, a nod to the length of a basketball court and to how far he'd come. He was appointed head coach at his alma mater, Trenton Central, in 2010. In a few years, he had transformed a sick program into a 27-3 juggernaut and made sure all of his program's players graduated, every last one of them. Number 3. Earl Boykins. When Earl Boykins arrived at Cleveland Central Catholic High School, he was burning up the defense for 24.6 points a game, his team putting together a dramatic 23-2 record. However much those statistics may have been against him, only one big school took a chance on him, Eastern Michigan, and Iowa even rescinded the offer. At EMU, he didn't stroll onto the court, he erupted, leading the Mid-American Conference in scoring at 26.8 points his senior year, earning 2 first-team All-MAC selections, taking home MAC Tournament MVP honors, and winning the Francis Pomeroy Naismith Award as the nation's best player under 6 feet tall. He even led EMU to a shocking NCAA tournament upset of Duke in 1996 and finished his career with the school's all-time assist mark at 624. Undrafted, he drifted from the Nets to Cavaliers, Clippers, Warriors, and finally signed an actual deal with the Denver Nuggets in 2003. A 5-year, $13.7 million deal size and reputation couldn't deter him.
And finally, the move off a little screen, a little swinging right hand.
Then arrived the moment. November 11, 2004, Earl Boykins, 5'5", scored 32 points in a 117-109 home upset, and became the shortest player in NBA history to reach 30-plus in a single game. To say that he was unstoppable that night would be an understatement. With career averages of 8.9 points and 3.2 assists in 652 games, Earl was more than a highlight. He was a backcourt force to be reckoned with. In 2005, he even led the Western Conference in free throw percentage, a quiet assassin at the line. While his NBA days were paused, Earl signed up with Italy's Virtus Bologna and became the Italian league's top earner. He ended it all by claiming the Euro Challenge Cup in 2009. He went full circle once more back to the NBA as a replacement for the Wizards, Bucks, and Rockets until 2012. Earl didn't leave the game high and dry after the final buzzer. Earl took charge, coaching the Douglas County High School boys varsity team from 2014 to 2019, dominating Denver over his Boykins Basketball Academy, building Boykins Kids, and guiding student athletes at Arkansas and UTEP. Since 2025 up to now, he's an assistant coach with the USC Trojans, transforming lives off the court as strongly from sneaking into the gyms as a kid to claiming nights in Detroit to constructing programs and aspirations. His life is proof that impact cannot be measured in inches. Number 2. Spud Webb. Born Anthony Jerome Webb on July 13, 1963. He lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment in Dallas with numerous others. From an early age, people told him he was too short to play basketball, yet every time he dunked in junior high or in high school, he proved them wrong. In his debut varsity season at Wilmer Hutchins, he averaged 26 points, despite being benched his freshman and sophomore years. In 1982, Spud posted 36 points to take them to the NJCAA National Championship and was All-American. ESPN even ran a feature on that insane run, a 42-inch vertical leap, on full display. NC State noticed him next. Head coach Jim Valvano joked he'd fire his assistant if that tiny guy with a vertical could touch a plane tree, then promptly offered him a scholarship once he met Spud in person. Those NC State seasons solidified Spud's leap legend, a 42-inch vertical, 10.4 points and 5.7 assists per game average. Flash forward to 1986, a rookie dunk contest against towering giants. Spud shocks everyone. Perfect 50s on a helicopter 360 and off-the-glass reverse. He beats Wilkins and the Crown, shortest NBA dunk champion in history. His NBA career? Legit. Drafted 87th overall in 1985 by Detroit, then cut and played for Atlanta. Played 814 games over the next 12 years, scored 8,072 9.9 PPG, and distributed 4,142 assists, 5.3 APG. Had a high of 16 PPPG and 7.1 APG with Sacramento in his prime years. He led the league in free throw percentage in 1995, 93.4%, poured on 34 points one game in 93, and repeatedly proved that he was around to stay. When the whistle sounded in 1998, Spud did not depart. He advanced. In 2010, he was named President of Basketball Operations of the Texas Legends, Mavericks G League affiliate. Recently, earlier this May, he was given a Legend in the Community award after running a free clinic in his old Dallas school district. Over 150 children showed up. He gave gift bags to their teachers. He is living proof that underdog is not an afterthought. It's a starting point.
5'7" Spud Webb from Atlanta.
From an overlooked kid in Dallas to NBA veteran, coach, and community legend, he taught us the value of our limitations being self-created. Number 1, Muggsy Bogues. Since the day he was born in the Lafayette Courts housing project of Baltimore, Tyrone Muggsy Bogues understood adversity. He was hit by stray buckshot at age 5. At 12, his brother was an addict and his father was in jail. It was a reality that most children ran from, but Muggsy ran to the basketball courts. At Dunbar High, he was the catalyst for one of the great prep squads of all time, 29-0 as a junior, 31-0 as a senior. That squad didn't win, though. Were declared the country's best high school squad. There, Bogues developed with stars Reggie Lewis, driven by a nickname, Muggsy, which he had gained by demonstrating no fear on the court in streetball fights. From Dunbar, he moved on to Wake Forest, where the 5'3's point guard did what nobody thought he could do. He led the ACC in assists and steals his last year in school, averaged 14.8 points, 9.5 assists, and 2.4 steals, and became the ACC all-time leader in steals and assists. Because of his achievements, Wake Forest retired his jersey and even saw fit to send him off to the 1986 FIBA World Championship, where he helped Team USA win gold. But coming into the 1987 NBA draft, there always was this nagging question. Could a 5'3" point guard actually play with the best of the NBA? The Washington Bullets, however, answered in a shocker. They chose Muggsy 12th overall. He entered the league with Manute Bol, the 7'6" center, on the same team. Together, they created the tallest and shortest pair in the history of the NBA, being 28 inches apart. In 14 NBA seasons, 10 with the Charlotte Hornets, Bogues emerged as a playmaking virtuoso. For 7 consecutive years, he topped the league in assist-to-turnover ratio. He retired with 6,726 assists, 1,369 steals, and 146 career double-doubles, all accompanied by 7.6 assists and 7.7 points per game. His peak Hornets season, 1993-94, 10.8 points and 10.7 assists per game, technically a 10-10 guard. And then there was, of course, the myth-busting play that made him what he became. Blocking shots. That is 5'3", 39 blocks in his lifetime. Even blocked one out of a 7-foot lefty named Patrick Ewing. Ewing later described how he was so surprised when Muggsy took it away from him. In 1995, he took in his brother Chucky in his home at a desperate stage of rehabilitation from drug use. That decision, he would later claim, saved his life. He graduated from Wake Forest in 1998, won gold medals, appeared in Space Jam, and afterward, after retiring in 2001, coached the Charlotte Sting of the WNBA. He was community ambassador for Charlotte Hornets in 2014 and established the Muggsy Bogues Family Foundation to help kids, scholarships, mentorship, outreach, because he understood that opportunity is everything. Muggsy Bogues is the epitome of what can be achieved when you set your mind and heart in the right direction. From Muggsy to Greg Grant, they weren't just short, they were short legends. They went up against giants, proved everyone wrong, and made the whole world ask, wait, how did he just do that? They showed us you don't need to be tall to be great. You just need the heart to keep going.